Hello, good evening, namaskar, assalamu alaikum, bonjour to all my beautiful souls today. I'm your host for the evening, Dr. Shelly Best, passionate educator, international speaker, host, writer, social activist, mompreneur, nation builder, and a change maker with 21 years of teaching experience, multi-awardee and a learner. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with international global professionals as their global mentor and feel honored and privileged to host this stupendous seminar. It's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professional International free webinar. Thank you all for joining us today in this marvelous evening, and it's my humble request and pleasure for all of you to stay with us till the end, for I'm sure you all will have many takeaways and payoffs from this webinar. Educational leaders play a pivotal role in affecting the climate, attitude, and reputation of their schools. They are the cornerstone on which learning communities function and grow. With successful school leadership, schools become more effective incubators of learning, places where students are not only educated but challenged, nurtured, and encouraged. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other, quoted John F. Kennedy. This is the reason why I am on this platform of IGP again, not only to host but also to learn from all our learned, eminent speakers. Spectacular gathering. In each webinar, we have some new participants joining us. Therefore, let me give them a little briefing about IGP for their better understanding. Well, Institute of Global Professionals serves student and community resource, providing holistic social work and education to create a proficient generation. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skills just by acquiring formal education. So, we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institution which provides social work which is globally recognized. We organize our webinar, training, offline and online courses, etc. by best and trained speakers, coaches from all over the world to create the best learning platform for you all. Our mission is to empower people and enhance skill. I feel elated to announce that we have already completed 138 international webinars successfully. Wow, that is a good number. Congratulations, IGP. Now, if you want to share your knowledge in global community, please record your topics, videos, and send us in our official email infoigpskill@gmail.com with the video description keywords. We will upload it in our YouTube channel, Facebook page, and Facebook group. Now, as much as your interaction with IGP, Facebook will remark you as a top fan. After sustaining top fan badge till long, Facebook will notify your name to us and you will be eligible for our lifetime membership. I'm happy to announce that IGP released YouTube channel Institute of Global Professionals for all our attendees. You can join our previous programs recording with verified certificates. Please do subscribe to our channel and set the bell for daily updates. Link is available in the comment box. Now, I expect that you all will be enlightened by our luminaries today, and the wisdom which you will gain today will sure help you in your personal and professional growth. I hope the deliberations from our three distinguished speakers will help you to hone your soft skills, and I extend my best wishes for great success of the participants and wish that you all will remain with us for a long, fruitful association and journey. I extend my deepest gratitude in welcoming you all in today's session, which is our 139th webinar on setting career goals. Wow, befitting salute to all the scholars worldwide. Now, don't worry, participants, I'm there to provide the power dose of empowering thoughts on this enlightening topic by inviting our eminent, honorable three speakers. Now, gracious Dr. Isha Mansingh from South Africa, beautiful brains Dr. Preethi Kachoro from Singapore, and distinguished Deuta Avidil from Albania. Welcome our three guests today. So without any further ado, let's start this magnificent event with IGP's mantra, that is feed your skills with innovation, inspire and impact. Now hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen, to meet our first speaker. Now, it's the time to invite Dr. Isha Mansingh. But before I invite her on the stage, let me tell you guys that who is Dr. Isha? She is the Executive Vice President, Corporate Affairs and Investor Relations for JSE listed Imperial Logistics, one of the Africa's leading logistic businesses, where she serves as the company's first and currently only female and youngest member of the executive committee. In her role as Executive Vice President, Corporate Affairs and Investor Relations at Imperial, Isha is responsible for key stakeholder communications and relationships across the group, investor relations, corporate affairs, media liaison, strategic communications, branding, sustainability, ESG, and integrated reporting. Isha is the chairman of and initiated Imperial's first Global Women's Forum. She also steers the group's corporate social investment initiatives across Africa and Europe, many aimed at developing communities, women, and promoting road safety, primary healthcare, and education. Isha is also a former award winning journalist and a TV presenter. She serves as chairperson of Loni South Africa, director of the International Youth Society South Africa, and director and trustee of Onjay Clinics, NPC, and Imperial and Motis Trust. Isha is also the founding member of the Investor Relations South Society South Africa, chairman of the Integrated Reporting and ESG Subcommittee of CFO Forum South Africa, a member of IBC's Women in Healthcare Working Group, and a member of the Integrated Reporting Committee SA Working Group. She is also a multi-award winner, with a recent accolade being recognized as one of the top 100 women in business in the world by Global Trade Chamber. Above all and most proudly, she is a mom to two young children and a proud wife. Isha achieved a doctorate in humanitarianism from Global International Alliance in the US for the vast and far reaching humanitarianism work she undertakes in her personal capacity, too. Wow! What an impressive profile, Dr. Isha. Amazing. Deserves applause and appreciation indeed. We are honored to have you with us and want to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Isha. Hello, ma'am. The stage is all yours. Please share the virtual screen with us and please delight our audience. Welcome
Thank
once
you
again.
very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Shetty, for that very warm welcome. You make it sound a lot more glamorous than it really is. And good evening, good afternoon to all our participants for the webinar. I'm extremely honored to be joining all of you and to be invited here today to share some of my thoughts on what setting career goals has meant to me and how I've gone about my journey over the last 15 years in my career, particularly in South Africa and working for large listed corporates. So with that, I'm looking forward to sharing some of my thoughts and hopefully encouraging your participation in the session as well. So I'm just going to share my video and presentation with you. So if you can just indulge me for a second. And I'll just get it onto presentation mode. So effectively, you know, when I thought about the topic, Dr. Shetty, before I move on, are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, your presentation is on.
Fantastic. So thank you for that. So when I was thinking about the topic, I actually took the opportunity to reflect on my career and looking at my journey from completing my schooling career, then thinking about the very daunting task of how do I choose what to study? You have a lot of pressure from family, you have a lot of pressure from peers, and then looking at, well, where do I want to end up ultimately? You know, when I'm an adult and as I want to progress in my life as a career woman. And these are just some of my thoughts on how I saw it all unfold. And it really all begins with a personal purpose. And that for me is the theme of setting career goals in my world and hoping that you'll get some key takeaways from that. So if we look at some of the key focal areas, I mean, if you're out of school or freshly out of school, like I mentioned earlier, what do many of us think about when we think about what career do we choose? So some of the questions are, well, I'm going to choose a career that makes me rich and successful very quickly. So many of us, I'm sure, think about that. The second thing is, well, my parents want me to be a doctor or an engineer. Maybe I should consider that. The third thing that many of us go through in our minds at that time is, I'm doing exceptionally well at school. I excel at mathematics or at science or at English or whatever it may be. Using those as my strengths. What is the career that my colleagues or my friends are choosing? Maybe I should try that route. And these are all very normal questions. And and all of us want to be successful, and all of us want to be wealthy as we choose a career one day. And I strongly encourage you to start with one particular question when you are planning your career and the next steps. And the first question is really about, what is my personal purpose? So as an individual, what is it that I would like to do? And what is it that I am okay with taking responsibility for and not necessarily getting paid for it? And the moment you strip out that component of money or fame or success, it takes a very different dimension, because then you really start focusing on something that you wish to choose to do for potentially the rest of your life, that you want to follow on with passion. And I always say that you should focus on your job and do something that you have the passion to do, and hopefully you'll get paid for it in the process. So for me, that's where my career journey and my career goals started off, and that was really looking at my purpose for Isha, and less so about what the rest of the world expects me to do. And then following on from that, once you've determined your personal purpose, it's then really guided by your passion and passion and perseverance, because choosing a career is not as simplistic. When you say, well, this is my purpose, tomorrow you will not be in your dream job. I mean, there's a journey that you need to follow in order to get there, and that takes a lot of perseverance. So passion, purpose, and perseverance are effectively the 2 or the 3 P's that you should be considering right at the start of when you're choosing your career journey and your career goals. And along with that, once you've established the foundation of the 3 P's, it's really about making sure that it leads to you excelling at that particular passion or skill set. And once you excel at that particular skill set, what it then means is that you become somebody that's in demand. I mean, your skill set, because you do it so well, it's not necessarily then you hoping to find a job or for you to put yourself out there. But really, I mean, if you're really great at what you do, generally, that's what companies are looking for. They're looking for highly skilled and highly specialized people that feel really passionately about what they do. So really, I mean, my focus has never been about money. I always say, don't focus on money and success. If you follow your purpose, the money and the success naturally would come. And then when you're considering your career, so you've determined your purpose, you've determined your passion, you want to persevere, you want to choose a specific route that you want to follow. What is really the end game? And, the end game for us as individuals is really just broader than, Isha or Sarah or Jane or whoever we may be. It's really about how do we as individuals, through this career and this journey that we follow, is how do we create value? And, our society talks a lot about value creation. And in any business that we all wish to join in some shape or form, whether it's a profitable organization, whether it's an NPO, whether it's an NGO, the whole point of business is to create value in some shape or form. So if you're planning your career and ultimately you want to work for an organization of some sort, you are going to have to contribute as an individual through your skill set towards that value creation. And that value creation is really broader than just yourself as an individual. It's really looking at your full spectrum of your stakeholder universe. So who are the people's lives that you are touching as an individual through the skill set and the career you've chosen, but also through the organizations that you have been chosen to be part of, and look at how you can play your part to create that value to those stakeholders. And then a big part of your career journey, I mean, it's never about where we start. It's always about taking that next step and progressing. It's never about, I want to become an engineer. or I want to become a doctor, for example. I mean, once you're in that particular role, it's always about then looking for other opportunities to progress as individuals. And I think that's what we are naturally as individuals. We want to always progress and prosper in whatever we do. So something we always need to consider as part of our career journey is that it's never about where we start, but it is about taking those opportunities and using them as stepping stones for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing until we've ultimately established that career, that we've always wanted to achieve in some shape or form. And sometimes you will find that you will surprise yourself because, a lot of times we have expectations of how our career journey is going to pan out. And when you're actually in the situation of living out your career path, every time you take a new opportunity, no matter how unrealistic it may seem at the time, you actually find that you surprise yourself in the process. And that's exactly what happened to me. If you ask the Isha of, 15 or 16 years ago when I was newly out of school, would this be where I would be in 15 years from now? And my answer would have been absolutely not. I didn't expect to have been given the opportunities and have the successes that I've achieved to date this early in my career. But when I look back and I look at what has been that consistent to get me to where I am now, it was about having that purpose, following my passion and giving my all to the skill sets that I had and becoming a master of those skill sets. And that naturally opened doors and gave me opportunities. And then I took those opportunities, and those opportunities just helped me progress even further. The other big focal area when, determining your career goals and your career path is really about having a mindset of being solutions driven. Many of us always face challenges, just looking at the recent past and looking at, the world of COVID, for example. We were all completely thrown out of our comfort zones. We had to be extremely agile, and many of us could choose to sit back and complain and look at the risks that we're faced with and the challenges we're faced with, throw our arms up in the air and say, well, I don't know how to go further. And if you ever want to succeed in your career, that's not the attitude to have. Rather, the attitude to always embark on in your career path and your career journey is about taking a solutions-driven approach. Always be the opportunist, take opportunities that I just talked to, but also look for solutions, bring solutions to the table and not problems. And I feel that, if that's a key focal area for you to be solutions driven rather than problem driven, it's a key milestone that we can achieve from a mindset perspective to help us progress as we set these career goals for ourselves. And, when we all are on our career journey, sometimes it might seem very difficult to progress from one chapter to the other. But you should never lose sight of the bigger picture. Just always think back to that purpose that you set for yourself and the path that you set for yourself, and just always keep your bigger picture in mind. So that's the broad framework that I naturally, think about when I've been setting career goals for my journey and my path. Now, what are some practical examples that I've managed to implement in terms of actually putting in place a career plan? And it's pretty simple. And some of you may have heard about the SMART plan. And some of the factors, of the SMART plan starts off with being specific. So yes, you've got a purpose, and yes, you know what your passion is, and yes, where your end game might be. But now let's set our minds down to planning that career path and journey for yourself. So start off by being specific. Go back to your purpose and be specific in terms of what it is that you as an individual want to focus on. So what path do you want to embark on? What specific career you're passionate about that you feel that you want to undertake? And so it really starts off with, all of us have big ideas about what we want to be and what we want to do. And sometimes, we're conflicted about having many career paths that we want to undertake. But you really have to be specific when it comes down to choosing a specific career and putting in place a specific career plan. And then once you've got that specific path you think you want to undergo or take on, next step is, let's decide whether it's measurable. And when I talk about, being measurable, if you choose a specific career path, what will it take practically for you, to progress on that journey? So, for example, I need to complete, my highest level of my schooling career. And then I need to, whilst I'm in school, I need to make sure that I, excel at certain subjects, be it science or mathematics or whatever it is. So understand what those specifics will require from a measurable perspective. Then it might require you to register for a specific degree in a specific field of study. So make sure you're very well aware of what those measurables are once you've determined what career path you want to follow. And then from there on, well, is it actionable? Practically as an individual, if I need to study, and I'll come back to the example of engineering. I started off my career in engineering for the first 2 years. And what I had to consider at that point in time is, will I, practically as a person, as an individual, will I be able to excel in that particular career? Do I have the skills and expertise to progress further in terms of those things that I've determined as part of the measurable bracket? Do I have a lifestyle that's conducive to being able to progress further in that or on that particular path? As we progress further on in our lives, if I am older, if I'm a mom, or if I've got another career that I'm already focusing on, will I have the flexibility and the time to help me action those items to progress on the next path of my career? And then, are they realistic? We all have ambitions, but there are only 24 hours in the day. And, based on the specific path that I choose, the measurables that I need to achieve, and what I actually need to action, what I actually need to action practically, can they be executed realistically on my part? Or is it all, just this over the top opportunistic thinking that I won't be able to physically action realistically given my lifestyle or the challenges or what's available to me at that time? And then with any plan, whether it's our short-term aspirations or whether it's our longer-term career plan, we really have to set ourselves goals and that are realistic, as I've mentioned. But then timeline, you have to put a timeline in some shape or form to a career plan, or any plan for that matter. And that, a career plan that you can then, as an individual, track against, reflect upon, and look at your progress so that you can determine, versus the original goals that you set, where are you within that time frame? I mean, we don't have, unending time that we can achieve these plans in, because of course, time's never on our side. So make sure that, this smart plan that you put in play, particularly relating to your career, can be executed in a timely fashion as well. And then, lastly, what are some of those qualities for a successful career path? So we've got a framework that we can follow. Great. We can then put into action the SMART plan, and we can have it all written down on a great piece of paper and hope for the best. But at the end of the day, it also comes down to certain qualities. It's key qualities that I believe each of us as individuals need to have and need to make sure that we display in some shape or form if we want to achieve those career plans. And some of those non-negotiables that I found in my career is, firstly, the ability to learn and learn quickly. As I said earlier, in our SMART plans, we have to be very agile because the world is changing very quickly. There's always rapid trends and changes and challenges that we always have to keep up with. And it's happening a lot quicker than it did 10 years ago. So we need to have the ability to be able to learn very quickly. We need to be agile, as I've mentioned. Yes, we all have or could have great plans, but life doesn't work that way. So we should always see our plans as frameworks rather than just cast in stone, and always leave room to be agile and amend those plans when life throws you those lemons and you have to make the lemonade. So agility is key to a successful career path. And I spoke about this earlier. It's really about rage to master skills. And I use the word rage. It's a very powerful word. Some of you may see it in a negative connotation, but I see it very much in a positive light. When I say rage to master skills, you have to have that passion, to continue to be a master of your particular skill set that you feel so passionately about, in order for you to be successful. And when you become that master in your particular skill set, you will be in demand. It will be a very big plus in terms of how marketable you are to many organizations as you continue on your career journey. And then where I started, it's all about perseverance. So, we can have all these key characteristics and the great SMART plan, but that you have to persevere, because as much as we all would hope to follow, as I said earlier, that great plan, we will have our ups and downs, and we will have our challenges, and it is about perseverance. You don't ever hear those success stories about people who have given up. It's always about the success stories about people who have had challenges thrown at them, and no matter how many times they were knocked to the ground, it was always about how many times they woke up thereafter and continued to take the next step and the next step and the next step. So it's really about perseverance. And, and those for me in a nutshell, and I am conscious of time, is very much for me some of my life hacks on how I've been planning my career journey and my career and setting my career goals over the last couple of years in my career. And I really hope that you find that useful, when you're taking that next step and looking for the perfect career choices for yourself. And I'm going to leave it with a quote that I find gets me through my life. And you really need to find out what you like to do best, or what you like doing best, and get someone to pay you for it. And if you can get to that point, then you know that you've certainly found the right career. So I'm going to leave it there, Dr. Shelly, and hoping that I haven't taken up too much time.
Wow. That was mind blowing and a spectacular presentation on setting career goals. I especially loved your first slide, with three important P's which you mentioned, that is purpose, perseverance, and passion. I love that you began your speech with a purpose. What purpose do you have in life? And pursue that purpose with perseverance and passion. And the next, the golden words which came from your mouth were, don't follow money but your passion, and that too with continued focus to create value. Seize the opportunity, which should be solution driven, and then always keep the bigger picture in mind, and followed by the various other key insights. I'm sure audience must have got all the key insights from you, and you might have enlightened the audience, because I'm already feeling enlightened up. So kudos, Dr. Isha, a big thank you for sparing your invaluable time from your busy schedule and answering all of us here with your thoughtful examples. Now let's proceed to our next distinguished guest, Ma'am Tirtha. And I would like to tell the audience that who our next guest is. She is a wife, mother of two beautiful children, an author, actively writing about her calling and purpose in life. Her passion is to bring the world an education reformed system, teaching parents super skills and how to leave a legacy of love. She empowers women how to overcome in times of adversities, how to live an extraordinary, happy, and fulfilled life. Her first book, titled Born to Stand Out, Not to Fit In, was global bestseller in 6 categories in Amazon. Her second book, titled Family Legacy of Love, is soon to be published. Teta is a transformation coach, international motivational speaker, women's empowerment and positive parenting coach, and also spiritual seeker. She manifests multifaceted leadership with compassion and humility. The turning point. Teta has overcome many challenges in her life. She reached her own turning point when she realized how short life is, when she was flung to the side of the road and knocked down on the ground by a big truck that came over her legs 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about the awards and accolades of her special guest. She is a multi award winner, an awarded Ambassador of Peace, Beautiful Survivors Award, Women and Girls Empowerment Ambassador, an Ambassador for Albanian Culture at Wages, the Mayor's Award Certificate, Honorary Doctorate Award from Good News International University for an exemplary work in serving the international community and for an outstanding contribution to humanity, significant contribution to public life. Golab won award, part of successful mother boarding platform, but and also ELS Edification Plus Award in Humanity, ELS Edification Plus Council member, and she is the founder of Legacy of Love. What an impressive profile! And yes, we loved the entire picture which is given to us. So a very warm welcome to Theatre. Hello, ma'am. Please enlighten us with your pearls of wisdom. The stage is all yours. A warm welcome from our side.
Hello, hi, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever part of the world that you are joining today. We are very happy and welcome to you are that join us today. Thank you very much for that presentation and that you was wow. I thought I don't have to speak about me anymore. So thank you so much for being here
Welcome,
today,
ma'am.
and I would like to thank Professor Dr. Caroline Mokaka for giving me this opportunity and to present with these amazing and successful events that she always organizes. So without further ado, let me share and my presentation, what I have prepared for you amazing people. And this is all due to what I have learned and what I've used, I mean, as an entrepreneur, as a mother, and as a businesswoman as well. So let me share my screen, please. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we are able to see your screen.
Yeah, okay. So here is me. So I'm not going to go through that because you already told this is my 2 books, and this is as well that I've been featured on 100 most successful women in the world. That was a bestseller as well. So yes, congratulations to all women that have been featured in there. So this is me in few TV interviews and featured to different newspaper and magazines internationally, and the bestseller from Amazon as well. So today I would like to share you my 12 powerful principle steps for mompreneurs and how to prevent burnout and overwhelmed while they building their dream business and having balance between work and family life. So how to stay confident whilst building your dreams, goals, and your big whys. So first I would like to have what is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneurs are smart innovators bringing to existence something that did not exist before, or an existing one that they want to recreate in a more fascinating way, serve others in their unique way. Also, entrepreneurs make high risks and decisions aiming to make profit for long-term impact. And a part of this, they bear in all the risk in order to make a difference in their life and in the world. So according to Women Entrepreneurship 2016 and 2017 from GEM says that 11.6 million firms are owned by women, employing 9 million people. generating 1.7 trillion in sales, contributing to 8% of employment, and also contributing to 4.2% of revenues. So women are amazing, inspiring human beings. Apart from being a mother, they have innovated amazing projects, not only that being financially independent to helping their family, but also to contribute for the betterment of their community and to change the world. So motherhood brings different skills into the business, like multitasking, planning, time management, innovation, budgeting, problem solving, communication, creativity, and many, many more. But however, giving attention to your business and also to family is not an easy task. It's a challenge that every entrepreneur mothers are facing today. So I want to mention Harriet Tubman quote when she said, "Every great dreamer begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and just a second, and to change the world." The turning point for every mompreneur is the day when the little ones starts full-time at school or even half a day at school. The moment they already feel that they feel bored and they already are feeling that they're missing the darlings. So it is not a surprise that many mothers launch their own business and search to do something different with their life or to do something meaningful and purposeful. But however, building your vision, it's not easy. As mothers, as women, we have so many dreams and ideas within us. It can be overwhelming trying to juggle it all. You might feel one day motivated and alive, and another day feeling sluggish and fatigued. So, I would like the Robert Fritz says, however, if you limit your choices only what seems possible or reasonable, you disconnect yourself from what you truly want, and all what is left is a compromise. So this is my 12 principles of how to prevent burnout and to have a balance between work and family life. So Denise Kimbrough said that the future never takes care of itself. It is taken care of, shaped, molded, and colored by the present. Our todays are what our yesterdays made them. Our tomorrow must inevitably be the product of our todays. So the first principle that I want to share with you is be your authentic self. Be real. Everything you do, everything you say, everything, let it be who you are. Once that you do what you do, then you will enjoy the process. It's not about that being rich in one day, but you have to do you, be you, and to enjoy. Because once that you do that, you're not going to do anything else, but just do you and follow your heart, your passion, your purpose. James McWeeny said that discover who you truly and are and fully give every aspect of uniqueness to the world. This is the path to an extraordinary life. So also have great and do a great work ethic. So I would say that integrity plus dedication plus effectiveness equals passion. Rollo Mayo said the opposite of courage is in our society is not courteous, is conformity. So many times we say that, oh, she did this, or I haven't done this. Do not pressurize yourself. Do what you love doing, and do not compare yourself with others. Otherwise, you're gonna lose your path to what you really are looking and searching for. The second principle is let intrinsic motivation be your priority. What do I mean? There are two types of motivation. There is intrinsic motivation than extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation has more to do with the individual, the motivation or the behavior that someone is more to do with the fame, with the titles, with money or any external motivation. Whereas intrinsic motivation has to do more with meaning and purpose, sense of service and duty, learning and growing, and not about what outcomes. Daniel Pink says the most well-known on the motivation work says there must be three powerful forces in the motivating, which is autonomy, that is the self-direction. Mastery is the intrinsic motivation to get you better, to master the skill, and to become better and better that no one can that they will see that how good you are. The purpose, the third one, is the ability to connect to a larger cause, and this is the highest form of motivation. The third one is focus on what is truly important. As for us, all of us, we are guilty of that doing things that they might not be as important. But when it comes to decision making, we have to prioritize and you work-related tasks. Think, for example, what is crucial and urgent and what it is important or pressing. So Maria Debler says that when we think as a stressor is too great for us to manage, we feel overwhelmed. So you might have seen, even the Asia was mentioned that as well, is Eisenhower decision metric when he said about that importance, when we have to decide that what is important is urgent and what is like important and not urgent, and what is urgent not important, and what is not important and not urgent. So what is important is solidum and urgent, and what is urgent is solidum important, Eisenhower said. So, for example, we said that when it's urgent and important, we have to do it right now. Like, for example, deadlines, problems, family, for example, problems, that if it's important, then it has to be done right now. Important, not urgent. You have to decide when you have to do it. Urgent, not important, you might automate it, delegate it, or even delete it if it's not important. Things that, for example, that you can cross out of your list, to-do list, then it's okay to delete them and do what is important. In this way, that you will have more time management to do what is important for you, for your dreams, for your goals, and for your big why. So what is not important, not urgent, you have to dump it. So again, we're talking about the SMART goals. A SMART goal that is, we can create it, we can make it to sub-goals, which is a big step that you need to happen in order to achieve a big task or to stretch your goals. Like is specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic or time-bound or recorded or timely as well. So when you break things down, it is smaller, and if you make it in small bites or fractionize it in small bites, then they would not look as overwhelming. So as Virgin says that little hinges swing big doors. For example, when you are specific, write your vision and your mission statement, for example, and be specific what you want and what you want to achieve. Let it be measurable. Measure, put down on what is that you can do it. Don't put it, and as we say in that sub goals as well. So once you take one little step at a time, then you will see that it's not that hard to achieve. So yes, put down your targeted date as well. It has to be attainable. When you take action and steps, then when they are taken, then they will be attainable. Realistic as well. You can say to yourself, you can do this and you can achieve this. So be realistic, and once you are, then you will be more aware of what is your step, and you can, because if we make ourselves overwhelmed and our brain will respond to this overwhelm, and everything will look overwhelmed, and you cannot do even the smallest step. And time bond is like a vision statement, like the direction of your business, its aims, and that for short and the long-term goals that will be created by your target date. So mindset to makeover. Many times we overlooked this factor actually, and I think that this is the most powerful tool that someone has to have, because when you want to achieve your dreams, your goals, and your big why, there must be some thinking involved, there must be some behavior involved, there must be some set skill involved as well. So we have to have the right mindset, that, as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, that you are what you think all day long. If you have a positive attitude in what you are doing, then you will achieve those goals. Having the right mindset will help you to have more driven to achieve your goals and dreams. I would say that have a mundane mindset to a miraculous mindset experience. What I mean about this, have from an ordinary mindset to an extraordinary mindset. You can say, instead of us, we always say, we are more prone to the negative rather to the positive. We say perhaps that, I cannot do this. I don't have the right career, or perhaps I am old, or I am young, or it's not the right time. So instead of that, then we feed in our mind with a negativity. So in this mean, we don't allow ourselves to grow or to change. But when we repattern, when we say instead, yes, I can do, I am beautiful, I am unique, I have greatness in me, and put everything of this and write it down. What do you like? What is the character traits that you like in yourself? And put them down and put it in sentences, and put it in stick notes, and put them on the mirror every morning, every night, every day that you go to the mirror, you see, I am beautiful, I am grateful, I have greatness in me. In this way, you are repatterning, and you are creating neural paths in your brain. So then you will start to believe in yourself. If we do that every time, then we're gonna repattern, and we're going to reshape what our thoughts are. So for me, it's so important to have a mindset to make over, or even from a mundane mindset to a miracle mindset. And you'll see then your dreams, your goals, your big why, and then you'll see that they will be achieved. Setting goals and achieving, the many of us setting goals, but are we really actually achieving all of them? So what do you need? And is that to let go about yourself. Do you have beliefs that not being enough, or smart enough, or deserving enough, or you are not good enough, or you are not smart enough? So we have to delete all these thoughts in our mind. So Bob Proctor, I really like his quote: developing a mindset that aligns with the life you truly want to live. So when you start to believe it, then you start to feel differently, you act differently, and you think differently. And what you start to attract is what you want in your life. And it's not going to be so overwhelming afterwards. So practice self-care. This is very, very important. I can say this for myself, because I was so overwhelmed to do this and to do that. You leave ourselves a second. But there is no more important, because what we are, we spill to others. Your cup has to be overflowed in order to pour to others, because we cannot pour from an empty cup. So you are very important, and from anyone else, and try to replace this feeling of guilt, of shame, and our unworthiness with a feeling of self-love, self-kindness, and empowerment, and be great, be you. The most overlooked about the work-life balance is about taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. If one of those is not in alignment with each other, the other one will suffer. So for me, like practice self-care. Just go walk when you need to have to stop. You have to stop. Go for a walk on the nature. Have a warm bath for yourself with essential oils and with salt and some salt as well. So really, really practice self-care, because if you are not well in yourself, then you cannot create great things or amazing things. Business clarity. Get business clarity direction. I suffered in this as well, until I found and I jotted down what I really wanted. I was overwhelmed. I wanted this, I wanted this. As women, we have so much ideas and so much like we want to give, because we know when you have your calling, you know what you want, because you don't question that anymore. But when you don't know, that's where you suffer. So I ask you all out there that you are watching and participating right now, get business clarity and direction, so you don't have to go back and rebuild it and remodel it again. So know your message. What is your purpose? What is the message that you want to convey to people? It is your passion. What is that you have to create value? That not only, because I believe that once that you do what you love, the money will come after. The money will come once that you do, that you really do, and people will see that your authenticity, that what you're doing is for the betterment of others. So, and another piece of advice is research every piece of information so you have business knowledge, and create a solution of concept, and seek as well field experts, networking with the right people and with the right business-minded people as well. Napoleon Hill said that we have amazing survivors of talents inside of us. You have to use our imagination in the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known. Upgrade your knowledge. This is so important. In order for you to reach your goals, your dreams, your big whys, you have to upgrade your knowledge. Confidence comes from competence, and competence comes from breaking through all these limited beliefs and learning from the failure. And then you are in the right position, in the better way, so you can create a success. Because when you fail, you know. The failures is when you fail, it's not about you fail. Actually, I would say there are lessons, not even fails, because they teach you how to take the next step. So lead with 10% and learn 90%. Be teachable, be humble. Have the attitude, correct me, guide me, teach me. You know what you don't know, so what? Then ask people, ask experts that because when you have knowledge, you will show up differently, you carry yourself differently, you have confidence. As I said, confidence comes from competence. So always business knowledge will get to you what you want in life, will get to you about to achieve your dreams, your goals, and your big why. Have a mentor. Bob Proctor says that a mentor is someone who sees more talents, ability within you than you see in yourself, and help brings out of you. So when you have a mentor, you will be, there is no greater, what we cannot get. We can lose money, but we cannot get time. So the best thing that you can do to yourself, invest in a mentor. Because the mentor knows what to do. He's been there. He knows what works and what doesn't work. The mentor can help you to motivate you, inspire you, and improve you what you need, and work, and it trains you to success. So having a mentor, I would 100% recommend. That is the greatest thing that you could do to yourself and to your business to go faster, because we love doing faster things. Time for nothing. And this is a neurosciences study showing that devoting time to doing nothing helps you relax enough. And to take time from your busyness and hectic schedule as well, it gives you a bigger picture of allowing you creativity, freshness, idea, newness, innovation. And this happens to me. And it's been many times that when I am doing nothing, even in the shower, just thinking, that's when the idea comes. And this technique, it uses even the greatest people of the history. Albert Einstein, he said that the time that I got the idea was that what happened when I was not doing nothing, no time, just being me with my thoughts, with my inner self. And Stephen Jobs as well, he practiced this technique as well, time for nothing. So time for nothing. Really listen to yourself, listen to your ideas, who you are. I mean, in those times, that's when you can be more creative, because we think that doing more is that we have to work smarter and not harder. Practice gratitude. One of my quotes is like, think what a privilege is to be alive, to breathe the fresh air, to think, to see all the beauty that surrounds you, to enjoy, to love, and to serve others. This is truly an endless blessing. And also, I want to add what Caesarea said about the gratitude. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtue, but is the parent of all others. When we have practiced gratitude, and actually scientifically proven, you can live 20 years longer. Imagine how important it is to be grateful and say thank you to people who cheers you, to people who always empowers you, the people that God put to this in your path. Think of those people and say thank you. Building a network as well is a very important principle that I think it is as well, because when you build your network, you connect with other female networkers, business owners as well. So having the right connection, right people in the circle is very, very important. So expand your circle. The last but not the least is listen to the voice of God. People, we think and always we worry about what people say. We are people, we have the nature to be the people's pleaser. But do we really think, have we ever thought about being a God's pleaser? What God wants from me? What is the purpose that God wants from me? Is it for my own desire? Is for my own benefit award? Or is for other people, to help them how to become better? So whatever you went through, you can make them, you don't want. For example, I know how I went through adversity, and I hate people when they suffer. I love them when they smile. I love them when I transform their life, when I transform the families. That feels my life. And I know, for example, I know that I'm doing my life purpose, because when you do your life purpose, you don't question anymore. You know that whatever you do, it makes you happy. It makes you fulfilled. And there is no greater and fulfillment than this. So we sometimes we please others, we do for our family, we do for our friends, but then we forget, then we end up then asking ourselves, where is my dream? Where my goal? Where my big why? I haven't received them. So you see that you left more summers behind rather than it's left in front of you. So all of this is, unfortunately, the answer is into us. That is about the decisions. It's about the choices. But however, it's never too late to do the right thing. So always do listen to your voice and listen to the voice of God. Because once you are, then you know that you are in the right path, and nothing can take that from you. So Les Brown says that help others to achieve their dreams, and you will achieve yours. So book recommendation that I would like the viewers, as a man thinketh, I have read all of these books and they are amazing. The Power of Awareness and Psycho-Cybernetics as well. So yeah. So thank you very much for listening. I just hope that I changed and I helped you a bit of the perspective of how to prevent burnout and overwhelm, and to create balance between you precious family and work life, because we know how important is them to be balanced. So live a life you desire. Thank you very much for listening. I'm so grateful being here today. God bless you.
Now, that was astounding, Ma'am Theota. I'm obliged for your marvelous presentation from mompreneur to who an entrepreneur is. I appreciated the slide with the sea of strong ladies with a shout out that women are the most powerful human beings, followed by your deliberation of 12 important principles. For an example, that intrinsic motivation which you talked about, and the one which focuses on what's truly important, mindset to makeover, practice self-care, time for nothing, practice gratitude, building network, and then the last one was icing on the cake, listen to the voice of God. Because unless and until we are not God fearing, I don't think so we can be successful in life. So I am pretty sure that it might have helped our educators and learners today. At least I have learned a lot from you today. And thank you so much for giving us your precious time from your chock-a-block timetable. This session will be effective for our audience because you shared your insight and knowledge with us. No doubt our viewers will be benefited today by your exclusive. So thank you so much, Toyota ma'am. God bless you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very
And
much. God bless you.
ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed further with our last but not the least distinguished guest speaker, Beauty with Brains. Yes, I'm correct. Let's welcome Dr. Preethi Kachoro Bhagat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Preethi is an Ayurvedic physician and has spent over 2 decades in the corporate world in healthcare roles across the globe. She is a humanitarian, passionate about community work and her initiatives for women empowerment. Breaking the stereotypes of a scientist, she tried her stint with the pageant world. She was crowned as Miss Personality 2013, Miss India International Courageous 2017, and came first runner-up for Wonder Woman 2018. Preethi also leads the initiative like ERG within GSK to make the culture within organization more inclusive. Preethi is chairperson of Singapore for the Ladies of All Nation International. Preethi has mentored and coached diverse people from within GSK and outside under programs like Diverse Refers Mentoring and Rise Mentorship. She is an I am remarkable facilitator. Preethi is perfectly managing the balance between the doting mother, a work professional to her passion to serve the community. As a change maker, she has inspired not only her friends but also her colleagues in the work environment. Preethi has created different opportunities for community participation and is also a health columnist and co editor of a community newsletter. Her passion to make the difference is reflected in the women around her who have been influenced to be on a similar journey. What really makes her unique is her passion to try again when she is in the midst of any storm of challenges. She also promotes the importance of staying fit through her social work and social media campaigns. As Preeti quotes, I also believe that embracing our diversity and acknowledging the inclusion of thoughts will help advancing human health and human progress overall. My personal goal is to develop the best medicines catering to diverse population that improves the standard of care for all patients regardless of race or ethnicity. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am pretty sure that you are dying to meet this amazing, dynamic beauty with brain. So, without any further ado, let me welcome the dynamic lady with us. So, Dr. Preethi, the stage is all yours. Once again, a hearty welcome to you.
Thank you so much. I think it has been a real pleasure to be here. So, a very big thanks to Institute of Global Professionals and also to Dr. Caroline Makaka. And I'm so excited. It has been a more like a learning journey today for me with the fellow speakers sharing the key insights. Even if we all have been talking about the topic of setting up the career goals, but how the different dimensions and how the different spectrums are being shared by the different speakers is a truly a learning journey. So let me share with all of you a few examples from my personal life story and also some tips and tricks that is going to help all of you. So thank you so much, Doctor. So we can start with sharing my screen in terms of few tips
Yeah.
and tricks, and let me know if you can see the screen. Yeah, so I think beautifully said in terms of how this has been a career journey. I'm an Ayurvedic physician and also a community leader and also a very proud Loani Singapore chairperson for Singapore. So, just going back to a bit additional brief about myself. So, who I am, and I am a mother of two girls, a diversity leader, scientist in a pain relief company, a culture ERG. What does this culture ERG mean when we say employee resource groups? These are established within the companies like healthcare, pharma companies, consumer health companies, which takes care of the people, of the employees, in terms of not only the cultural awareness, the cultural intelligence, but also taking care of that we make sure that we have the diverse population in place. So when we think about setting up the career goals, the first question is we reflect upon our different ethnicities, we reflect upon our different cultures, and we are very much tied around our own self beliefs, even if before starting our careers, that really is it going to impact, or should I really apply for this career, or should I even have this career in place. Again, going to another thing that is part of my life, which is I'm pretty much determined to take up the challenges and try up new things. And why it is important for again connecting with the career goals, because when we think about diversity, sometimes we get into this fixed mindset. If I have done this education, or if I'm graduated through such and such college, my opportunities are limited, or my career path has to be only to such and such milestones. So it's really important to challenge yourself and to look into the opportunities, how you're going to reinvent yourself, how you're going to upgrade your skills to define your career path. So I have been connected as a consultant with some foundations like Breast Cancer Foundation also. One of the middle pictures, if you see, is of my as a grassroots leader working in community, and another opportunity to not only build networks but also to learn about different cultures. And the last picture that you see here is one from my ERG, which is the employee resource group that I lead in my company, which is taking different issues across the geography. So this one very specific to Singapore, and looking into how we can empower people in being themselves. Let's say if we have already chosen the career path, then do we have the courage to pursue that, and are we being ourselves, being yourself when you're coming back to the work. So these all points are very much connected when you're developing or you are planning for your career paths. So, what is this career planning? So, I think let's start from the very basics of this career planning. So, it is a process where you decide who you are. So, that means it's a bit of self reflection, what we are looking into it, so that you can be sure of where you want to be. So, when we start our first career journeys, we prepare some kind of a to do list, and we think about very basic things, which is like education. From the education, you have got few milestones. This is where I want to start my career planning. And the second point that really influences in your career planning is the motivation. And where does this motivation come? It is around the people around you. So you have some idols, or you are really influenced either by some influences from your family, from your friends, or from even from the TED talks, where you are really inspired by the people. Okay, this is maybe what I need to do in my career planning, or this is what my career path is going to be. Then third thing that we usually measure when we are doing the career planning is the success. So when you are planning in terms of this is my career path, or if I have to become a researcher, for example, let's say from my journey, if I have to become a researcher, so this is my education, and for this, what are the current skill sets and what is the success rate? So you put everything on the table to prepare your list in terms of what I'm going to do next. The fourth thing that comes to the mind is the career ladder. So when we talk about the career ladder, we have to decide if this is what my journey as a scientist or as a researcher is going to be. From this position, what are the different consecutive areas that I want to develop myself, and what has to be as part of my learning journey? Another fifth important point is define your goals. The goals can be as simple as your professional journey in terms of moving to consecutive positions, for example, from senior scientist to principal to director, to moving to the different places, or it can be as simple as developing yourself as a more impactful and an influential leader. So, what are the tips and tricks for those? We'll be picking up in the next slides. Then the most important part in all this career planning is that there has to be an awareness where we have to identify what our strengths, what are our weaknesses. A very handy list, a check to do list that you need to prepare in terms of identifying strengths which you think are your strengths, but also a kind of a reflection from either your mentors or coaches or your consultants or even your family friends, where you go back and ask them, do you think this is my strength? So a very good example I can give on my strengths is one of the feedbacks that I got is, having high energy and a very positive attitude is one of the strengths that I have. So when you know what are your strengths, it's really important to play around your strengths and work on your weaknesses. And let's say if it is about weaknesses, you identify communication is your weakness. So it's really important to work back, make a checklist. What are the areas in terms of my communication? Is it a professional communication? Is it a personal communication? Is it impacted by some other factors around me? How am I going to work on my weaknesses? You can even do a consultation, you can work on yourself, or you can even take a help of your buddy who can help you not only identifying your weaknesses but helping you to trail up how you are going to set the record right in terms of moving ahead, turning your weaknesses into your strengths. The last but not least, everything that starts and ends it's also with the qualifications. So pursuing any education, when it moves to the qualification, is there any additional qualification that will be required to boost my career plan? For example, I can share from my own experiences is I started my journey in a hospital working in surgical oncology, and I realized when I moved to industry that there are different functions which impact my working or my work style. So I added up my additional qualification of post graduation in doing pharmaceutical regulatory affairs and clinical research in terms to understand better how I can do my career planning for my future 5 years plan. So you really need to look into the balance of what your education is, what is the additional skill set you require, and what is the qualification that you need to quantify when you have your checklist ready. what are the 7 steps of setting these career goals? So when we look into these 7 career goals, the important part is starting from the journey, and the journey is self-assessment, and the journey is also about exploring the career or work options. So once you have done your self-assessment, how you're going to move around, it's really important to focus on what are the options that you have in hand and what are the options that you're going to work on. So the third step that comes into your journey is focusing on the priority options. So you will prepare a complete checklist on these are the career options and these are the work options. And out of this sits in my priority 1, the second sits in my priority 2, the third one sits in my priority 3. So you have to prioritize, create a complete top 10 priority list out of these career options, and then decide which is the best option, which becomes on your first priority and which will go into your second priority. The third step that comes is counseling from an experienced mentor. And when we talk about an experienced person or a mentor, these are the people who really help you shape up in taking that final step or the final decision when you have already looked into your best option and the priority thing. Another key step that comes in your journey from these 7 steps of setting up career goals is inclusivity or top of mind. So when I say inclusivity, what does it mean? Inclusivity, we know that with COVID many things have changed, and when I say many things, it means the way that we work. There used to be more face to face presentations, there used to be more face to face work style, as compared to now, which is either a hybrid or a virtual setting. So in terms of these virtual settings, the thing that really comes and which really plays a role is the inclusivity. And when I say inclusivity, that means being a inclusive mindset where you are thinking about these small things which are making changes in your conversation and communication in these meetings. A good example of that is in a hybrid meeting or in a virtual setting, when you are having your team or you're part of that, you're ongoing in your career journey, and you have some of the team sitting with you, but somehow half of the team is through the virtual connect. So it's really important to give the chance to the colleague or to your peer who is online as compared to the person who's sitting next to you. So it's really important what are the what are the meeting etiquettes that you need to follow, and how can we bring this inclusive mindset into action when we are going through this journey. And how does this help in even in our career goals when we are moving through achieving our one milestone to another? Being a very inclusive mindset not only helps you to climb your success ladder, but also to set your next milestone in a very convenient manner. So it's really important to have that clarity on what is your next goal, to have that openness, that open mindedness, to embrace the changes, to be inclusive mindset in terms of how we are going to manage the expectation of the stakeholders around us. So we move to next, what are the taking up some key steps that we need to achieve when we talk about the next career goals. The interesting part here is you have to evaluate and ask yourself, your very first question that you're asking yourself is, what is my career ambition? Where do I want to go from here? Am I enjoying my work? Am I enjoying my career path? Do I really need to stop, pause, reflect, and look back in the changes that I need to do? And when we are doing those changes, the most important part is that we look into, are we okay with these challenging environments? Have we prepared ourselves for the challenging environments? If there are conflicts in the workplace, do we have the capability, or do we really need to work on a skill set to manage those conflicts before taking that big decision of your career change or another career ambition? Last but not least, in the career journey, when you are setting new goals for yourself, or when you're treading upon your current goals, the journey transforms you. The journey transforms you into an impactful and an effective leader. So it's really important to work on these areas. How can this transformation kick in? And how can I make these changes impactful? What I need to do to make these changes impactful. You can maintain a record, you can maintain a journal. I think I mostly do this. I usually maintain a journal for my next milestone, and I reflect back in my journey what I have achieved, what is my next milestone, and for preparing for that, what are the skill set and what are the development areas that I need to look into? What are the current gaps that I have to work on? So, this transformation, this is your transformation journey. You are transforming yourself by embracing the fact that yes, there are some gaps. You're transforming yourself by looking into the fact that there is some self reflection required. You are transforming yourself to be a more impactful and a more effective leader, and fully prepared to embrace your next developmental journey. Now, last but not the least, what is really important is not limiting yourself in terms of what is the career goals that I have to achieve, but also plan for the next. And when I say plan for the next, what does it mean? How does it look like? We have just started our career journey. We have done a very proper planning. We have achieved our milestones. What else we need to prepare? So the important part here is to prepare for your next 5 years. Now there will be a question, why next 5 years? So if I can repeat what Michael John Bobek has said, all progress takes place outside the comfort zone. And it takes place outside the comfort zone, and also it takes place when you are very well prepared and organized to take your next step. And this is where your next step starts. So we start with a very basic step. If you see in the circle at the top right corner, it says build my skills. So this portion which says build my skills is a reflection where you pause and reflect and start on your journey of self-awareness. The self-awareness journey is reflecting how far you have reached, appreciating what you have received so far, and then planning what you need to achieve next. So building your skill set on what needs to be done additional. The second point, if you see in the wheel, is work on my developmental journey. So you have to plan, okay, these are the gaps that I already identified, or this is the gap that I have received from my feedback. Remember, the feedback is the best tool that you can ever get. And for me, what I learned through my leadership journey is even from some of my mentors is that feedback, there are two types of feedback. So there is a positive feedback, and then the second is the constructive feedback. So the openness to embrace the constructive feedback, to chip this in your developmental journey, is where your remarkable journey really starts. So it's completely up to you how you want to take the feedback. But it's really important that you make sure that you start on your journey for feedback. So one of the learnings from my journey was in my company, I try to take 360 feedback, which means taking feedback from all the key stakeholders that you work with. Another experience that I had from my another personal journey was taking feedback in your personal journey as well, in your behaviors, in your attitudes, because sometimes it's very difficult to reflect back on how we are behaving or how we are communicating to others. So that self reflection comes more clearer when you start taking feedbacks from your personal and professional life. So it really chips into your developmental journey when you have not only sometimes the live feedback, even the complete 360 feedback, or the feedback extending beyond your professional life into your personal life from your friends and family. The third important part in your next 5 years when you're planning is becoming a strong contributor. How do we do that? Becoming a strong contributor. It's a very interesting thing because you can be a strong contributor by being a very hard worker or being a smart worker. So I think it was very much shared by Dr. Tiota as well, that it's important to be a smart worker than a very hard worker, because when we bring these learnings together, it's really important to imbibe how we can take the learnings not only from our journey but also from the journey of people around us, where we not only lift ourselves but we also empower other people around us, whether you are in a matrix organization or whether you are in a literal organization. So your leadership, your contributions will be pretty clear as long as you work not only smart but also are 100% focused and pretty much determined on what you need to achieve. Again, important point, if you see toward the left side of this circle, is work in high performing motivated team. So very influential factors is, even if you are already set on your career path, you are having a very good career life, but at some point of time in your job you feel, oh, the team is not motivating enough, or maybe my manager is not even encouraging me for what I am doing, because I have been a very strong contributor. So don't go into your limited self belief. So it's really important. Go back and have a reflection and learn back from the high performing motivated teams. Make yourself part of that motivated teams. Lift and shift the ideas that can help you and imply those models into your learning journey, into your job, into your career. And always begin with the end in mind. And when I say the end in mind, it's pretty interesting. When we start our next 5 years circle, it's really important to see where you want to see yourself in the next 5 years, how you want to grow as a person. The developmental journey or the career is not only your professional success, it's your personal developmental journey as well. So, when you think about these 5 years, where are you going to be after 5 years as a person, as a human being, and how are the people around you going to perceive you with your sharings, with your plannings, and with the different skill sets that you have shared and and even contributed towards. Last but not least, I think it was emphasized by Dr. Isha as well, my fellow speakers today, prioritization, and by Dr. Theota, I think it's exactly the same. Build your network. So you are in any career journey. The important part is, where are we going to prioritize where we want to reach? At some point of time, you think these are the 10 paths I want to pursue, and all of them you feel are pretty important for us to grow as a person. So remember, you have to pause, you have to reflect and think, what are the areas I really need to prioritize and which is going to be on my top priority. So pick up that area and work on that area to build your next 5 years. And last but not least, building your network. Pretty important throughout your journey, the learning journey or the career journey. The networks really help, not only from learning from them, but also in terms of how you can seek advice on your next step. So really important, do leverage on these few tips, which is going to help you in terms of not only how you are going to showcase yourself, or also how you're going to prepare yourself. Now, there are these 3 C's which I always share and which I always work for myself as well. And these 3 C's are courage. The first one is courage. So have that courage to speak, have that courage to be a strong contributor, have that courage to start thinking about your future, have that courage to prioritize. The second C that comes to my mind, and it is very close to me, is confidence. Sometimes we have the courage to draft it in our checklists, but we do not have the confidence to bring it onto the table or to share it at the right moment. So it's really important when you do the right things at the right moment or in the right direction. So it's really important, bring all those things together, the confidence and the courage together, and move on to your career journey. The last but not least is clarity in communication. And why is it really important? If I'm really good in my emails, I may have a very detailed storyline when I'm sharing with my stakeholders or even with my peers or even in my personal life. But am I that clear when I'm communicating to the different stakeholders? And what does these different stakeholders means? The different people from the different functions that you're working on. So it's really important that every person is different, and we have to accept and we have to embrace the differences. And once we embrace the differences, once we are inclusive on that part, so we have to give that customized bite-sized information to every different people, so that clarity of how we are sharing our information, how we are communicating on our skill sets, how we are planning ahead in our milestones is really important. There may be different stakeholders. Some may look forward for very succinct or very clear communication. There may be other stakeholders or other functions who will require a very detailed response. So, important part is that you give the right nuggets to the right people when you're communicating. So, communication in itself, whether it's your written communication or whether it's your spoken communication, is pretty important in terms of how we are going to shape up the future. Last but not least, self awareness, unconscious biases. So, we spoke about self awareness earlier. Let's move to the unconscious biases. Unconscious biases are our own challenges or our own roadblocks which does not let us move in our career path. So it's really important to figure them out, work on our unconscious biases. Oh, am I able to apply in this place? Will my educations be fitting into this current opportunity? Discuss with your mentors, discuss with more experienced people, and clear your unconscious biases. Growth mindset, growing mindset. So when you're working, don't be fixated, don't be a fixed mindset that this is what I can achieve so far in my life and maybe this is the only path I can take. Another example from my career journey, I started as a research fellow in hospital, and then looking and learning from people around me. When I started in industry as a researcher, as a scientist, I was pretty fascinated by clinical research, and I realized there are different functions around me which are also playing a key role in making those small changes in the health for the consumers or the patients around me. And fascinated by that journey, I explored those skill sets and I discussed with those people. And I said, when we talk about medical affairs, how is it going to make an impact in the consumers? How can I amplify my impact to consumers so that they are more aware? They are more conscious on their right choices or healthy choices. And how can I make a difference? So, this growing mindset really helps you to open up your vision, what you're going to pick up, and where you want to move forward. Don't limit yourself. Exploring and being innovative really helps to move ahead in the career. Last but not least, check ins. So, what is a check in and check out? When you're going through your personal developmental journey and you think this is the right path that I am moving ahead, it's really important to seek not only the feedbacks but also to seek uh, on your own reflection that am I really being able to communicate or to showcase where I want to be or what I want to achieve in my life. So, those check ins of yourself, where you have reached, and the checkouts with the people around you are really crucial that play a part in your success ladder. And whatever you do, do not forget to put empathy around it. Keep it human, but be yourself. So, this is the key message that I'm going to end my presentation today. And I want to share one thing from Walt Disney, what they really say, and I think it really brings all the dreams come true, that all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So have that courage, have that confidence, and bring in your communication and bring in the clarity to pursue your dreams. So I wish all of you all the best in your career journeys, and I hope these tips are really helpful for you to plan out on your career planning and also on setting up your career goals in your lives.
Wow, Dr. Preethi. My chat box is filled with overwhelming compliments for you. Brilliant. What a lovely and superb presentation on career planning, and especially those 7 steps on career goal setting. I believe you were able to give the beautiful insight on this topic, and the dear participants must have got the important takeaways. I'm sure you have inspired all the knowledge seekers for how to set their goals. Now, thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your valuable time and sharing your knowledge with us today. The evening was great and the seminar was great. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone, great listeners, and really happy that I could be able to share some parts of my journey, which may have inspired few of you. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, lovely audience, it's time for the quiz competition. I invite all of you to participate in our favorite segment, that is the quiz show. Well, lovely audience, we have 55 attendees with us. Now, those who want to participate in the quiz, kindly log in www.slido.com and don't forget to enter the code. The code is IGP01 quiz. IGP01 quiz, and everything is in capital letters. This link is even given in the comment box. So, the participants who have not entered yet, I request each one of you to kindly log in www.slido.com, and the code is IGPO1 quiz. Right now, I have 60 participants with me who has joined. And one more important announcement is there, that whenever you log in, please log in with your complete name, including your surname, first, middle name, and the third name, because the same name will be reflected in your certificates. So please enter with your complete name, and I'm telling the link again. Please log in www.slido.com with the code IGP01QUIZ. That is IGP01 quiz. I have 85 participants right now with me. I wish and I hope the strength increases, because it's an exciting quiz. We have got 10 questions, and all the 10 questions are really very interesting, and I hope each one of you should participate in this quiz. Even I'm also excited. Let me find out what all questions are there and what are the answers. So we have 110 attendees with us, those who have already joined the quiz, and I am expecting the number to go up. So those who have joined us right now, those who were quite late in joining, and those who have not logged in, I am again requesting them to kindly log in www.slido.com and enter the code IGP01 quiz. And please join in with your complete name because the same name will be reflecting in the certificates as well. I'm sure you will be enjoying this quiz. This is the live quiz. The link is even given in the comment box. And the top 10 will be awarded with the quiz completion certificates. This is the golden opportunity for all of you to participate. I have 132 right now with me, those who have already entered. So why not bag the quiz completion certificates? The top 10 contender will be handed over with the quiz completion certificates. So why wait? Hurry up, everybody. 138, 139. Yes, the scores are increasing. Yes, come on. Those who have not entered www.sliro.com are requested to kindly enter login for this interesting round of the quiz session. I must admit that you will be enjoying. That's quite an interesting part of this webinar. Now 147 have already logged in. They are with me and I'm expecting the numbers to increase. Yes, it has reached 150. Okay, so here is the first question. Goal setting is a process for option A, thinking about your ideal future, motivate self, and turn it into reality. B, thinking about your ideal future, motivate self, and turn it into dream. Nice. Only there is a difference or a word, reality and dream. So let me see. What do you log in? Option A or B? 90% have gone for option A and 10% for option B. Let's check the correct answer. And the correct answer is option C. Option A is the correct answer, and the audience guess was very much correct. Congratulations. This is the leaderboard in front of you. And now we proceed further with the second question, which says, why is career planning important? Option A, help to prepare in advance, and option B, help to see what in the past. Yes. So let us see what is the correct option which our audience log in. 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we see how much percent goes for option A, that is 98%, and option B only 2%. The correct answer, let's see the correct answer, and yes, the answer is option A, 98%. Congratulations, this is also the right guess, and this is the leaderboard in front of you. Now we proceed further with question number 3. Most successful careers come from hard work and setting goals and taking steps to get there. Option A, self-direction, and option B is self-importance. Interesting question. Now let me see what the participants will be choosing, option A or option B. And let me see what they have chosen. Yes, option A by 90% and option B 10%. Let's see the answer. Wow, this answer is obviously correct. Option A. The audience guess was absolutely correct. This is the leaderboard in front of you. And now we proceed further with question number 4, which says the term organization is a plan to organize long and short term academic, career, and social goals. You have to tell me whether this is true or false. So let me see what maximum participants will be choosing for, option A or option B. So we have the participants, yes, 90% for true and 10% for B. And the correct answer is 90%. Wow, smart audience. Intelligent answers, and this is the leaderboard. Now we switch over to question number 5, which says, who do you talk to about creating goals? Option A, a teacher, B, a counselor, C, a case manager, and D is all of the above. So let us see how close is the answer. What do you all choose? Option A, B, C, or D? So here is the guess. Yes, option A only 2%, B is 6%, C is 2%, and D 90%. And this is the correct guess. Check the leaderboard in front of you. And now we proceed further to question number 6, which says, what are the two types of goals? A, tall and short, B, long term and short term. Very interesting question. What are the two types of goals? And let me see the smartest participants goes for option A or option B. So 1% only for option A and 99% for option B. And the correct answer is A or B. Yes, yes. Congratulations. B is the correct answer. Smart audience, 99%. B is the correct answer. And this is the leaderboard in front of you. Guide is on is leading. Very nice. And now let's proceed further with question number 7, which says, why should you set goals? Option A, gives you clarity and short-term motivation to gain success. B, just because I can and I got nothing to do. Very nice option. Let me see what the participants logs in. Option A or option B. So the audience have given 99% to option A and only 1% for option B. Let me check out the correct answer, whether it is A or B. And the correct answer is option A. Congratulations, most of you were correct. It's option A, 99% have marked option A. And this is the leaderboard in front of you, Kai leading. And now let's proceed further with question number 8, which says, a contributing factor to not reaching your career goals. Question number we have to switch over to question number 8. Yes, a contributing factor to not reaching your career goals include all of the following except option A, failure to plan, option B, having too many goals, option C, taking action on the goals you set, and option D, balancing life with work. So, let us see what the audience goes for. Option A, B, C, or D. So, let's check out what the audience, the participants have. Yes, 46% for option A, 10% for option B, 34% for option C, and 10% for option D. Let me check out the correct answer for you all, whether option A, B, C, or D. Yes, let me find out the correct answer. Oh, very, very close. This is option D, which is the correct answer. This is option C, 34%. D was 10%, so option C is the correct answer. Taking action on the goals you set. This is the leaderboard, and now we proceed further with question number 9, which says the first step in career planning after setting a goal is option number A, procrastinate, B, making a power play, C, meeting that goal, and D, getting information. So let me find out what our participants have opted for. A, B, C, or D. A 2%, B 2%, C 35%, and D is 61%. Let me check out the correct answer. And yes, D is the correct answer. This is the leaderboard. And now we proceed further with the last question of the live quiz. Identify 3 methods of goal setting as a way to career success. Option A, decide your goal, process, and go for planning. B, decide your goal, process, and go for action. C, decide your goal, process, and go for support. Again, there is a difference of only the last word, planning, action, and support. And let me find out what the participants have done. Yes, option A 26%, B 70%, and C is 5%. Let me find out the correct answer for you all. And the correct answer is option B, which Audience have already marked 70%. Congratulations. And now we have the final winners. Congratulations, Maureen P. Saves. And these are the 10 quiz competition winners, the top 10 in front of you. You can read out the names in front of you. All these are the top 10 scorers. So I'm elated to announce that soon you will be getting your quiz completion certificates, all 10 of you. So congratulations, buck up, keep it up. I appreciate the other participants also who participated with all energy and zeal. But maybe it was a difference of a width, a narrow margin. So, lovely audience, now we will take you to some brainstorming session, that is our question and answer session. If you have any question for our speakers, then quickly write it down along with your name, country, and the question directed to the respective speaker in the chat box. We will read it out, and the luminaries for today's session will be answering your question. So, let's proceed further. So, we have the question for Ma'am Theta. First, congratulations on your international accolades. Very nice. This is by Feroz. Could you please give us some examples of you being a game changer in your community or even internationally? Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, can you hear me? Thank you very much for the question, Feruz. So here, for example, during the COVID-19, I have done some programs for teenagers and for families, and I gave them for free 7 weeks Jacotin parenting for families. And I am participating here as well with under Universal Peace Federation, but I am philanthropist as well. So I have opened wells in Africa, which 200 families have improved and have benefited from the work and from the drinking clean waters, which were cases that families and children were dying. So I love helping people as much as I can, and give them as well. And this, what I do, is not about for my award, is because I love. When I see the opportunities, I always give. Here in Northampton as well, I work with families, I work with women empower themselves, to find their greatness in them, to tell them that there is a greatness in them, that there is there is a star, there are stars in the sky, as many as there are stars in the sky, so they are as well. So I love helping women to find the greatness and to live the brilliance. So I hope that I gave a little bit of a background, that what I do, and why I'm doing this is because I love helping people and I love to see smiles in their face.
So yes, ma'am, you have done justice to this question. And Feroz has asked the question to Dr. Preethi, and that is, what are your sideline tips as a community leader for us to pursue a stellar career?
Thank you so much, Feroz, for your question. It's pretty interesting when you talk about the role as a community leader, because in that role, you can so much reinvent yourself because of the different areas that a community leader looks into. The areas can be cultural events, the areas can be some emergency services, for example, in COVID-19, distribution of masks, or working in a task force to manage sanitizers, or even reaching out to the citizens, or let's say senior citizens, who are not able to get their vaccination done, creating some awareness around that. So there is a large scope of how you can contribute as a community leader using your skills, again a hybrid skills, which is, you can go in person in making those differences as part of your community work, or you can do the virtual ones. A latest one that I can tell from my personal story is that I recently joined a gardening group. And it's pretty interesting because in Singapore, we are in phase 2 heightened alert. So we cannot come together more than 2 people. So what we did is, as community workers or as grassroots leaders, we all came together and started sharing our experiences on how can we set up a gardening for the community people. So we started doing our own training workshops to empower the team first before we go and empower the rest of the community. So there are different ways how you can use your skill set while sitting in the comfort of your home and still making big difference as a community leader. Another second impact that comes to my mind is, as I think was already shared at the beginning, that I also co-author one of the community newsletters. So any initiative that you're doing or you want to involve the community further, you can invite them or use these tools to empower more people and bring more awareness. And now for yourself in your developmental journey, the most important part is what you're passionate about gardening. You may be passionate about something else, maybe making some difference in people from lower strata. So what are the tips and tricks to help them and where you can contribute? So connect to your passion so that when you continue your journey in the community, you can continue for a longer duration and you can make impact to more people than ever.
Wonderfully answered. Okay, next we have the question from Pradeep Parajuli, and the question is, what are some shorter term goals that can help me get to my long term goals? Now, this is for both the speakers. Any one of you can opt for, any one of you can speak. And
Okay,
Pradeep Parajuli is from Nepal.
okay, if I may. So, Pradeep, first of all, very interesting question and very fascinating question. So, first, you have already decided in your career journey that you will have that demarcation of having short term goals to long term goals. And how do we decide the short term goals? Short term goals are very much like a short term project. So, short term goal can be enhancing your skill set, short term goal can be adding up new qualification for the career path that you are choosing. Short term goal can be even starting at the very basic step of your learning journey. And when we think about the long term goals are the milestones of your short term goals. When you start your journey, you perceive yourself in these 5 years or maybe in these 3 years, where I'm going to see myself. and to see myself what are the steps I need to take now and what steps I need to pursue throughout this journey. So this is how it's gonna help you starting from very first basic step, and like a ladder you're going to climb up to your long-term goals.
That's fantastic answer. And now we have question to any one of the speakers again. Career paths are being affected by the digitization of work. What advice can you give in setting career goals in an increasingly online world?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you can try. You can try. You can try for this question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, you're audible to me.
Okay. Yes, I mean, actually, I would say to this question is we have been blessed actually that now that we are more connected than apart, and we can actually achieve everything just in our own homes. I mean, just on the top of our tablets and computers, and really achieve what you really want. So what I would say, for example, I would say that whatever you want is just have knowledge what you want, and everything else will it's a process. It's a process. So take what is like attainable, what is possible for you, and like for as we're saying for the smart for the sub goals as well, that these are things that you need in order to move forward, that when you want to do the smart goals, long on or short term goals, you have to give yourself a deadline and the approximate amount of time to spend on each steps as well. For example, review your past performance. For example, which area of the business worked well for you, and what could you have been doing better, and what opportunities is lying ahead of you. So, due to the deadlines, for example, always always see your targeted date. So research what's happened in your industry as well. So figure out everything that you can about your business and industry that you are entering. Read everything that you can and talk with about your audience and about your business. So how is going to be the next step? So always I connected with being knowledgeable. So you have to upgrade your knowledge to match your destiny, where you want to go and where you want to be. So brainstorm ideas and the vision statement about your business, and write them down what you want and put them in the target date. So revise as well, reflect on them. And yes, that's what I can say to that. Really research what is the businesses are doing, like are the same that you're doing, and take it from there.
Stupendous answer, ma'am, indeed. And now we have the next question. Can I have the next question? Yes. The next question is to ma'am Teta again. What are the simple plan that leads to a greater goal?
As exactly the same as I said. I mentioned that you have to get that something that you really want, something that you really desire, and you cannot put those and do those in one day or 1 month. So you have to fractionalize them and get the small bites of that goal, that bigger goal, to sub goals, and start doing them something that is achievable for you. For example, you cannot, if you want, for example, to do your plan. For example, you have to make them a plan like a longer goal and the short goals. For example, you have to start what you're gonna be in 6 months and what you're gonna be in 1 year. So try to bite those sub goals like of the 6 months and make them smaller sub goals so you can achieve. Because if you set longer like it cannot be realistic, then you can be overwhelmed and perhaps you cannot even end up the small goals. So always I start like see what you can achieve as in the beginning, and then always go to the next step and stretch yourself and see how much you can achieve.
Sterling answer indeed, Ma'am Tirtha. And we have the next question on the screen, and that is salute to IGP. What are the examples of plans that will lead to a greater goal? This has been asked by Maggie, and I think Dr. Preethi, you can answer this question.
Very interesting question.
Yes.
So, plans, when we think about what are the example of the plans that will lead to a greater goal? So, it's a very perceptive question. When we talk about greater goal, what is great for you may or may not be great for another person. So, it's really important to identify when we see greater goal, what is that greater goal for yourself? And to move towards that greater goal, you have to do the clear planning in terms of the steps that you're going to take, in terms of the right skill sets, in terms of the right qualification, in terms of the right education. So what is the basic minimum things that we really need to have in place to achieve, which is a greater goal for ourselves? So I would say, plan ahead, reflect, pause, and start on your journey. And to do the check ins, make sure either you have a mentor or some experienced person around you who can guide you through this journey, that you are in the right direction and taking the right steps.
Yes, and I can add something to that as well, if you allow me. As
Yes,
well,
ma'am, please.
I go back to the matrix decision that we already talked about, like what is important and what is urgent, what is important and not urgent. For example, important crisis, deadline problems, they are very important and urgent, not like important and not important but urgent relationships, planning and creation, or as well not important but urgent, that is our interruption, meeting and activities, and not important but they are not urgent too, so they are time wasters, pleasant activities. So we have to really to the key to avoiding as well to becoming to not achieve your goals is to think as well about what is important to you, what is the most essential. So there are little tasks that you can easily cross off your to-do list, then by all means automate, delegate, and delete those things from doing that they are not taking you to achieve your dream goals. So yes, it's always see what is important, and also as well as mentioned about having a mentor is a very is a very good idea, and I recommend to everyone to have mentor, because they will guide you to the right path, because they've been there, they are experts on that, and they know the field, and there is no better than that, because you have someone a shoulder to lean on to get you to have you accountable. That is very important to achieve your goals and your dreams and your big why. So yes, so that's what I can say. Look, yes, go on an example of how to fractionalize goals into actionable. Take action, because you can set goals, but if you don't take action, then they will not be achieved. So always take a smaller step, and you know what is good for you, because what is good for me may not be good for you or to one of us. So it's always look what is measurable, attainable. Again, all these smart goals that we already spoke today.
I believe Maggie is the luckiest participant over here who is getting the answer from both the speakers. So, congratulations, Maggie. Now we switch over to the next question, which is to Ma'am Tweta. What is a simple goal that leads to a huge goal?
A huge goal.
Yeah.
A simple goal. I mean, it depends what you want. I mean, I said again, it's all about what we said. Taking the smaller goal to a bigger goal. For example, write down, what do you want? What is your purpose? What is your vision? For example, in the beginning, for me, I was a bit overwhelmed. I was a little bit lost what I wanted. But once that you find, it's about really finding what is you want and what you want to do with your life. and take a, a smaller steps to achieve the big goals. For example, as well, I would say that when you set goals that you really want and you really are passionate, it's like you are excited about it, and you will find a way. It's not about that you desire, you are committed, and no matter nothing, you will sacrifice your time, you sacrifice your want, you sacrifice your pleasures, you sacrifice everything. When you get up in the morning, it's not about complaining in the morning, but you say, oh my God, it's another day. How can I do good today? How can I serve? How can I create something good? And is again what type of the industry that you are and the business that you are. For example, for me, let's say I have the book. I wrote a book. You cannot write the book in one day. It has to be a chapters. You have to plan what I'm going to write. And it doesn't matter. For example, there are days that I produce more than days that I don't produce, or maybe less. But you write down and you'll see that from this chapter will become a book. So I hope that I answered, or maybe change the perspective about how to get the simple goals to achieve your big goals. So yes, I always, if an idea would come to me, I'll just jot it down. So plan. Journal is very good as well. So it depends what type of business you are. For me, it's been a long. It's not about in a click of the finger that you are gonna have that. The process is hard, but you have to enjoy the process. You know that is you going to live the highest frequency of your life. So I remember one quote. I mean, I heard once of something. If you want to look in outward, be looking in the mirror. This is powerful because is what do you want? What is that you want? And I am not into taking big steps. I always love the process of doing something. And when you do something, you will be happy because you achieved something that day. And that procrastination is the deadliest thing. Procrastination about stagnating about what you want and just keeping repeating the same. Okay, and you say, okay, if I have this or if I have that, or if you're waiting for the right moment, perhaps the right moment it never comes. We never know how long the window will be open. So just take steps and just take actions, and the success will come after. It's not easy. No one can say, either of us that were in the business would say that it's easy. No, it's never easy. It's hard, sweat, and you'll give everything, because it's different when you are interested and when you're committed to something. Because when you're committed, you will give everything for that, even your money, because that is what you are. And all of us, we have suffered of that, and we have failed, we have learned from the failures. But one thing is that you doing that because it's your purpose, it's your calling. And I don't take my calling lightly. I take it very seriously. So I hope that this will
Powerful answer given by Ma'am Letta. Now we have the next question from Celsius, and it is: the pandemic makes us learn, relearn, and unlearn. How can we make career planning more effective when knowledge and skill sets are fast evolving? And this is directed to any one of the speakers. Anyone can answer this question.
I'll take this up, and I
Yeah.
will
Yes,
Shweta
Dr.
to
Preethi,
build
yes.
on the same. So I will just start from what Toyota has just ended in. What actually do you want? I think just starting on your journey, on your career planning, even if pandemic or no pandemic, wherever you want to achieve, it's really important to reflect, pause back, and see what do you really want? What is your purpose? And then for that milestone, remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. For that career planning, it's really important to look back and reflect, if this is my milestone or this is what career path I'm choosing, what are the current skill sets? Remember, the skill sets are really evolving, but they are not very different from what has already been established so far pre-COVID era as well. The only thing that has become more powerful is digital. So, of course, when we are thinking from the digital perspective, so am I embraced by the digital skill set as well? Do I really need to add up any more new skill set that can help me to give that push in my career planning? So, do reflect back, what is your journey? Where do you want to be? What do you want to be seen as? What is your purpose? So, have that reflection, ask yourself, prepare that checklist, discuss with more experienced people around you, and then start working on which skill sets are going to help me for my this journey forward, irrespective of pandemic or no pandemic. As I mentioned to you, it may have turned more digital than ever, but the same skill sets in the vicinity, even from the comfort of home, now it is known as work from home, are still being used. So it's really important to reflect, work on your skills, work on your direction, what you want to achieve, and embrace with the new technology and with the new digitalization that can help you to move ahead.
Yeah, and I
Wonderfully
can add,
answered.
and
Yes, ma'am.
yes, and I can add something to
Yes,
that as
yes,
well.
please, sure.
Very well answered as well. Is it doesn't matter about your if your goals are like long term or short term, but in addition to that is about the beliefs. If you believe doing this, it's about your mindset. It's very important because even though some people, for example, in the midst of the problem, they find favor, so they turn around. People are learn when you, I mean, people that mourn or complain, they will never see the positive sides of it. Whereas others make them, they see the problem, they see how to can do turn something around to their favor. So really have a mindset of a mirror. So from a mundane, I say to mundane mindset to miracles mindset experience, because you know you will improve your self-confidence, the self of well-being, and those are very very important about goal setting and achieving them. So yeah, that's what I want to add to that, is just you have to have a mindset of I can do it. No matter the weather, you can bring your own sunshine in your own midst of your room. So I mean, now in every that I mean, I think that we are in a digital area, like we are blessed with in everywhere, in whatever you are, you can achieve almost everything, because we are all connected and we have this digital connection made us even to create more businesses really.
Yes, of course, you have given the sunshine to Celsius, I believe. Wonderfully answered. So, yes, now this question is to Dr. Preethi. Could you please tell us or give us tips on how to empower oneself in meeting career goal, especially when you feel burnout from your workplace? Fantastic question, man. Love you.
Thanks for this question. To be more honest, I think I also went through one of the burnouts. So it's pretty much
Mm.
related to people who are pursuing their career goals, are a bit ambitious, and are constantly evolving themselves in terms of what they can achieve further. So, so the most important part is the time management. So when we think about a burnout, we go into the stage. So there are three stages. I think it's a pretty graph. Maybe if I get another chance in some presentations, I will bring it back to the participants here, which shows when you start stretching from your work, and from stretching you move to another stage which is in between burnout, and then finally you fall into the pit of the burnout. So when you are already into the stretch state and you are ambitious because you are thinking about the developmental journey, then you have to set your boundaries in terms of how much you can stretch. What is my time management? Am I giving the enough pauses? Am I looking into my health? And especially during COVID, because half of the people are working from home, the working professionals, and for those reasons sometimes they are working even round the clock, so they do not reflect and they do not give enough time to themselves in terms of their fitness, in terms of their health, because career becomes a priority for them, either
Mm.
by choice or by their workplace measures. Now, the key question is how to manage and not fall into the pit of that burnout. So, the moment you are, you can say, moving in between the stretch and the burnout, it is the wake up call for you and your body, where you take a decision that, yes, I may stretch further into this one in taking this new opportunity. However exciting that is, you have to take a call at yourself, reflect, pause, and think, should I be really taking this year, or maybe next year, or maybe after 6 months? So time yourself up, organize yourself, prepare yourself. You can delay few things, or you can take a few things, just depending on your capacity. And then if you have a family, there are other work life commitments as well. So how are you going to bring that work life balance, do your time management, are organized, and still give some time to your fitness, are the four key factors not for you to fall in your burnout phase.
Hmm. Very nice.
Fantastically answered, Dr. Preeti.
Yes, and yes, and very, very beautiful answer, Dr. Preeti. That what again that I wanted to ask as well. I mean, in the work-life balance and unbalance, or heavy or weighted in work, and I want to say that you are not alone. We've been there and we are there. In our business, success-driven culture, most people feel overwhelmed. Emotional overwhelm is a state of being of your mind that creates when you believe that it's too much to handle and it's not enough time to get it done. So in my own experience, when this happened, I have to pause, because in the end of the day, if we are not taking care of ourselves, not only that we can help, but not only that we can help others, but we cannot help ourselves. So really take that, you have to do the pause, you have to hit the pause button. And sometimes you can say, you have to learn to say no. If that is too much, then you have to kind of balance yourself. Take some time off, and go something. Take that what it makes you alive, what gives you energy, what makes you happy, and look at those things. And perhaps you get maybe after that you might find the ways, because maybe in that moment you might not have the answer, but if you take some time, then you will see that, oh, why did I stress myself for little and pettiest things? So okay, and that's what I do, and really does work, guys. It really works. When I say, okay, is gonna be time, anytime, and when you follow and when you trust the process, and in the end, you will come. You'll be solved. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So this is the last question for Dr. Preeti today. Learners today are more focused in playing online games. How can we motivate them to change their mindset into a better one in setting their short and long-term goals? This is by either.
Thank you, Ida. A very interesting question. And let me share with you that I have some similar kind of a case at my home with my little girl as well. So it starts with a very simple step of making the right choices and in the things that makes them happy. So it's just a model, and it can be applicable across any age group. So when I talk about this example, when we say right choices, for example, when we're talking about online games, so these online games, if it is science oriented, if it is related to what you have been pursuing either in your career, or if it is related to what you want to build your future on, so pick up those topics which are exciting and which can start helping them to take that very first step in their career path in setting their very first goal. Going to the next step, when we talk about these specific things which are more towards education or more towards learning, it becomes very monotonous and boring for our learners across any age. So how can we make it exciting is adding up some incentives to that. So what are these incentives? Incentives are by these counselors or maybe experts or more experienced people around them, who can give them examples how taking these small steps or baby steps are going to help you in achieving these small term and long term goals. So giving them that right direction to make the right choices is the very first step to help them be on their journey.
Very well answered. So this was the fantastic question answer round. We all enjoy it. I think the participants might have got benefited by the beautiful answers given by our two guest speakers. Thank you so much for the day. And now we have certain announcement for the certification process, which is there on the screen as well. So the first step says certificate code must from July 12 to July this 2021, which is available on video sessions. And step two is that without certification code, no one is eligible for certificates. The step three says video will be available always on our Facebook page, website, and YouTube channels. And step four, who wants to learn, anyone can join us on live sessions later on. That is a recorded session. And step five, we don't have any restrictions for learning. Our only focus is learn anything you want, but learning is must. And the sixth step is the beautiful thing about learning is nobody can take it away from you. That is quoted by BB King. So I hope the certification process is clear to all of you. And this is for the first time IGP will launch a virtual award ceremony program. Oh, this is news to us as we are different from any other organization. So in this case, also the same. So audience, participants, everybody, we all look forward for the lovely virtual award ceremony of IGP. This is a news which IGP has shared. Now this is a certification process. I will go step by step. Now, this is about the 3rd August, today's event, that is setting career goals. Now, how to download the certificate for today's event. Now, you can see the link on the screen, the certification link. This certification link is available now in the comment box and also pinned comment. This certification link will be available always in this program post, Facebook page, Facebook group, and YouTube description. You need to just click on this certification link. This is the step 2 for 3rd August program for today's webinar. And the certification process can be claimed. You can claim your certificate in two ways. The first way is a direct link from comment box, pinned box, or post description. Or the second one is, if you're not able to click this link, please directly browse www.eduigp.com for all information together. You find today's program and then the process remains the same. So you can opt either for the two options, step 1 or step 2. In both ways, you will be able to download your certificate. Yes, this is step 3. Browse www.eduigp.com or given link. You will redirect this page of our website. The YouTube link is there. And then if you come to the right hand side, please check the blue rectangular box which says enroll now. You have to click on this. Click enroll now. This is the step 3 of the certification process. Now, as soon as you click on this, we go to step 4. Now, if you are new, you need to create your account. If you have an account, then log in directly. And after that, find the seminar title and get enrolled yourself. On the right hand side, please check in the green box which says log in. So you have to click it to log in. And now we go to the next step. Yes, this is step number 4. Instructions. Yes, certificate code is required to download your certificate for today's program, that is setting career goals. The code is IGP 5505. I repeat the code IGP 5505. Now, without this code, no one is eligible for certificates. So, participants, please note it down. This is very important for downloading your today's certificate. Now, let's go to step number 5. Step number 5. I believe you have downloaded this. Yes. Now, one more announcement. I think half an hour back, I have already given the quiz code, and this is the certificate code which I have just spoken. Both the codes are different. Quiz code and certificate code are not the same. We have two codes for different things. separate code for quiz and separate for certification. So please note it down. And with this code, as soon as you get this code, you have to click to get your certificate. On the right hand side, your certificate code, wherever it is written, you have to fill in. You have to type IGP 5505 in capital letters. You click it and you get your certificate. But the only thing is, you need to enter the certificate code. Yes, and next, now we come to the next. A free international webinar certificate is auto downloadable in PDF file. So check your device file manager. Sometimes it looks uncompleted, which is for your mobile screen size. In PDF file, everything seems so okay. If nothing found in your file manager, please check your browser setting or update your browser or try with another browser or try it from a laptop or a desktop. I hope I have made myself clear. Sometimes technical glitches are there, so need not worry. So this is our beautiful certificate of partition. This is just a sample. Now this is the step 6 when your certificate is ready, and the step 7 is the verified certificate, because this certificate is verified. This is just a sample I'm showing you on screen, that your certificate of participation looks like this. It's a beautiful certificate. And next I will show you the next certificate. You can join our all live programs from the Facebook page, Face group, and YouTube channel, and also the website. If anyone miss any program due to some unavoidable reasons or issues, still you can attend the previous webinar with verified certificates. It's not an issue at all, because at times we are so busy in some meetings or some assignments or some commitments or the other. So you can very well catch up the recordings. It is available in all our platforms. So dear participants, if any problem raised to claim your certificates or any other issues, please don't be hesitant to contact us. If now our website isn't working well, don't be panicked. It's issue of some, say, traffic, or maybe cause of some maximum user. You can claim your certificates tomorrow also. It's not an issue at all. Our core team members are always ready in comment section to support you to find solutions. You can very well contact Janet Escablo and Kelvin Lenetok in case if any problem arises. Yes, so this is something very important. This is the next webinar, which is falling on August 4 on Thesis Writing Made Easy Part 2 by the two guest speakers of Philippines. Kindly block your date. It's tomorrow. And then on August 5, we have the webinar on Self-Determination Leads to Success. This will be taken by the three guest speakers from Morocco, United Kingdom, and United. And the next, on August 6th, the webinar is on mental health for educators. It will be taken by the two guest speakers from United States of America. August 7, we have Transcending Optimism and Research-Based Practices in Education. It will be taken by the three guest speakers from Philippines. And Next, on August 8th, the webinar is on human resources and conflict management. It will be taken by the two guest speakers from Philippines. Fantastic topics in the upcoming sessions. And on August 9, we have Transforming the Future Through Education. It will be taken by the three guest speakers from South Africa, Tunisia, and India. And on August 10, the webinar is on global communication for educators. It will be taken by the three guest speakers from Philippines, United Arab Emirates, and Philippines. August 11, we have the seminar on developing resilience from the speakers from United States, Nigeria, and India. Next, August 12, the webinar is on creativity in teaching, and it will be taken up by the guest speakers from Philippines and Uzbekistan. Interesting? Please block your dates. August 13, we have Leading Change Through Uncertainty, and it will be taken by the three guest speakers from Philippines, South Africa, and United States of America. And August 14, we have Socio-Emotional Learning, and it will be taken by the two guest speakers from United States of America. August 15, we have Transformational Leadership. It will be taken by the three eminent guest speakers from United States, United Kingdom, and South Africa. All the topics are so interesting. Please block your dates and keep attending all the seminars. So these were the upcoming seminars for the August month. August 17, we have the seminar on Leading for Success, and it will be taken by the three eminent guest personalities from South Africa, United Kingdom, and Ecuador. Save your date, block your date, and keep attending all the webinars of Institute of Global Professionals. Great opportunity to learn. August 18, we have the webinar on Facts and Figures of Ancient Mathematical Techniques. It will be taken by the two guest speakers from Oman and India. Great. August 19, we have the webinar on Community Engagement and Empowerment. It will be taken by the three great personalities from Vietnam, India, and Nigeria. August 20, we have Concepts and Components of Quantitative Research, and it will be taken by the two guest speakers from Philippines. August 21, Achieving Success Through Innovation. It will be taken by the three guest speakers from United Arab Emirates, South Africa, and Croatia. Great. August 23, we have Leadership in Education, and it will be taken by the prominent three guest speakers from South Africa, Switzerland, and Croatia. August 25, we have Social Emotional Teaching and Learning Management from the three guest speakers from Greece, India, and Georgia. August 27, it is Thriving for Success by the four eminent guest personalities from South Africa, India, Nigeria, and Singapore. August 28, Significant and Dynamic Trends in Education by the two guest personalities from Thailand. August 29, we have Principles of Leading Change by the four eminent distinguished persons from South Africa, United Kingdom, South Africa, and South Africa. August 30, meeting the challenges of the new normal in school education by the two guest personalities from Philippines. August 31st, Young Leaders Changing the World. The four guest speakers are from South Africa, United Kingdom, South Africa, and Vietnam. So these were the calendar for August, and now we come over to September month. September month, redefining education, and it will be taken by the eminent guest speakers from India. Two speakers from India. September 3, importance of co-curricular activities in teaching learning process. It will be taken by the three guest speakers from India and Sri Lanka. September 5, educators' time and performance management. It will be taken by the two guest speakers from Oman and India. And this will be in the morning session. This is 172 webinar, but yes, there is a surprise. There is something we have changed, that it will be conducted in the morning session. So stay tuned early in the morning at 9:30 a.m. And next, September 5, we have Technology of the Future in Education, Advantages and Challenges. And it will be conducted by the three guest speakers from Croatia and India. September 7, ICT uses in everywhere, and it will be conducted by the distinguished personalities, all three from India. September 9, 21st Skills in Education and Integration of Technology, and it will be conducted by the three eminent guest speakers from Albania. September 11, we have Supporting Learning Through Interactive Learning Tools, and it will be conducted by the three guest speakers from Philippines. September 13, Research Methodology and Literature Review, and it will be conducted on September 13, and by the two eminent personalities from Philippines. September 19 will have psychosocial issues of students, and it will be conducted by the three eminent personalities from India and Australia. September 24, Character Formation in Educational Leadership. It will be conducted by the two guest speakers from Philippines. September 25, Learning Across Areas of Maths, Social Studies, and Assessment, and it will be conducted by the three guest speakers, all three from Philippines. So this is your international webinar certificate. This is the quiz completion certificate we have. And this is the Global Professional Membership Card. And this is your certificate of membership. And this is the lifetime membership certificate. And this is for the speaker, certificate of appreciation for the speaker, for all the speakers. And this is the speaker's profile we have. So, viewers, before we part goodbyes, let me acknowledge my alluring, warm attendees who were so patient and attentive throughout the session. Dear listeners, I'm much obliged for you all from the core of my deep heart for taking part in today's session. I'm confident and positive that you might have picked up and learned something new today, which you will be sure implement in your life for your career growth. My worthy viewers, I would now request you all to please leave a review for today's seminar and also to recommend our page if you have learned something from us or if we were a little help for you today. I'll also appeal to my beautiful onlookers to spread the information among your friends. I repeat again, not to forget collecting your e-certificates from our website by the process which I just explained to you, all the certification link. So we hope to see you all again in the next upcoming webinar. Till then, thank you so much. Brave the pandemic with smile, sunshine, warmth, and positivity. Stay happy, stay safe, stay home. I'm your host, Dr. Sherry Bish, signing out. So bye-bye for the day. Good evening, good night. And just remember the code IGP 5505 for downloading your certificates. So good evening, everybody. I hope you loved the session. So stay tuned and please do attend all the upcoming programs of IGP. Thank you so much.